The American Dream, an unwavering belief that anyone can arise from rags to riches and reach economic heights. The American Dream is the center of our society. The idea that everyone is created equal, that regardless of where we come from, who we are, and what our background is, we can all become successful with hard work. But how true does this ring today? Does the land of opportunity that we all believe in still exist? Is economic mobility attainable for all? Let's find out.
The particular skill that allows you to talk your way out of a murder rap or convince your professor to move you from the morning to the afternoon section is what the psychologist Robert Sternberg calls practical intelligence. To Sternberg, practical intelligence includes things like knowing what to say to whom, knowing when to say it, and knowing how to say it for maximum effect. So where does something like practical intelligence come from? It consists of a set of skills that have to be learned. These skills and attitudes have to come from somewhere, and the place where we seem to get them most often from is our families. Sociologist Annette LaRue conducted a study of third graders from various racial and financial backgrounds. She visited 12 families at least 20 times each for hours at a stretch and followed them to many family events. Expecting to find a variety of different parenting strategies, they were surprised with their results. They found that there were only two major parenting philosophies, and they were divided almost perfectly among class lines. The wealthier parents raised their kids one way, and the poorer parents raised their kids another way. LaRue found that the wealthier parents were more heavily involved in their children's lives. When the wealthy parents had children doing poorly in school, they would challenge their teachers. However, the poor parents were often intimidated by authority and reacted passively. It was the difference between the middle and wealthy class approach of concerted cultivation, an attempt to actively foster and assess a child's talents, opinions, and skills, versus the poor parents' strategy of accomplishment of natural growth. This difference is not genetic or racial. Instead, it's a cultural advantage. But how does this influence an individual in terms of their opportunities for success? The wealthier kids are the product of years of nudging and prodding and encouraging, and their confidence can be seen through their interactions with others. As Gladwell writes, the sense of entitlement that these children have been taught is an attitude perfectly suited to succeeding in the modern world. Although these differences may seem insignificant, they can play a defining role in shaping one's life.
Despite what we often think, economic mobility is not the same for everyone. A statistical research study shows that only 31% of Black children born to parents in the middle of the income distribution have family income greater than their parents, compared to 68% of white children from the same income bracket. Additionally, Black children from poor families have poorer prospects than white children from such families. 54% of Black children born to parents in the bottom quintile stay in the bottom, compared to 31% of white children. Additionally, studies show that whites and Asians are more likely to graduate from high school and are overrepresented in higher education. The quality of education, as measured by the Annie E. Casey Foundation, is higher in majority white schools. Quality of education is measured by highly qualified teachers with master's degrees, AP classes offered at the school, and the school resources. Black students who also are statistically more likely to be given severe disciplinary punishment for a similar offense as their white counterparts. Black and Latino students are consistently placed in lower band academic levels, even if they have the same test scores as the students in higher academic levels. From these statistics, it is evident that it is significantly harder to rise up the socioeconomic ladder as a racial minority. But why is this true?
As seen through the data, Black children have significantly lower chances of reaching higher income quintiles, even after starting off at the same position as white children. But why is this the case? General disadvantages and a history of discriminatory policies, including redlining, gerrymandering, and mortgage market discrimination, have resulted in a cycle of inequality being set. Due to these systematic factors, African Americans often have less assets and personal savings to pass on to the next generation. Even though they may be in the same general income quintiles, possession of property and other factors may set them apart. Thus, when a child needs to finance their college education or needs other financial support, statistically speaking, white parents will be in a more able position to provide them with that financial aid, elevating their economic mobility.
So does the land of opportunity really exist? Is economic mobility attainable for all? Yes, but not in the way we often think. We all know that we don't start at the same place on the socio-economic ladder, but But what's often not as evident is the fact that the factors that put us there continue to affect us as we move through life. From the data collected and analyzed, it can be seen that race, education, and wealth are all interconnected and affect economic mobility in various ways. The root problem all stems down to old discriminatory policies practiced for years that have resulted in economic and educational differences between different races. These problems often prevent certain families from pursuing certain educational careers and result in differences in future incomes for children starting at the same financial level. Thus, specifically targeting solutions towards helping to overcome these generational differences is extremely important.
Additionally, the increasing inequality in America makes it harder to bridge the ever-growing gap between the poor and the rich. In order to understand more about economic mobility and help solve these problems, further research must be conducted on the factors that lead to growing inequality in income distribution. This will help understand what factors need to be addressed to equalize economic opportunities for people from all backgrounds. Additionally, research must be done on the different programs and ways through which lower-income families and racial minorities can reach out to help improve their economic status. By creating more opportunities, especially in education, targeted towards those who are disadvantaged, we can increase their upward mobility, thus decreasing the income gap and reducing generational differences between certain groups of people, revitalizing the American dream.